Bam! We is live.
It's showtime, folks.
It be showtime, motherfucker. The hell you be talking about? Yeah. So, this will be fun tonight.
What's up, Crate? First one in. Look at that.
Oh yeah, Crate's on a mission from God.
That's right, he is.
Yep.
Turns out God's Canadian.
Yeah, Crate bought an SSH 68 for me, and he's like, "Yep, I like it."
Like, there's nothing to go wrong with it.
Oh, you didn't miss the shipment of the M56s. I found out when I got the order that they were out of stock. They didn't tell me before I got it. I'm like, "Where are my East German helmets?" And they didn't charge me for it. They're like, "We didn't ship any of them." Okay, well, that sucks.
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
blows.
keep trying to get more East German M56s in the future. So
It's a nice fucking helmet.
right.
You got to get a soprano name, Mike.
A soprano name, Bobby Bacala. That's who I'd be. Have you ever seen The Sopranos?
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, I would definitely be Bobby. Big fat dude that's kind of like into nerdy shit and really quiet, but I'm not quiet.
Happy Vietnam Veterans Day.
Oh, it is Vietnam Veterans Day. I didn't know there was
And
a
look
Vietnam.
at how we're all dressed. Look at that.
Yeah, that's insane. So, oh, yeah, I think we'll take a little bit to just kind of whatever, and then we'll get into the composite stuff.
This is a good one. It's going to be a good one for all you guys that really like helmets. This is where I'm going to drop some more sick knowledge on you.
Yeah, I didn't know that I knew more about steel helmets than you did. Like, I did not know that. But
steel is not my forte, unfortunately.
You're gonna fucking kill me at composite helmets, though. So, I've had check winter caps in my shop. I just get them seasonally.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna sell them in the summer
because nobody wants to buy a new Shanka in fucking July.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Is I try to get stuff that's seasonal, like fleeces and stuff, late summer. So East German M54 helmets, no such thing. Oh, you got up to 15 pretty quick.
Yeah.
All right, you want to start rolling with your spiel?
Sure. All right.
Excellent.
So you guys who watched last stream, which what it looks like from the comments is most of you guys so far in here, are the kind of last hurrah of the steel designs. You see basically every design go from a kind of to a conical, spherical, or a very like sloped design, should we say, which is a pretty really good as far as it goes. But now the next really step up in technology is to finally start offering some form of ballistic protection, which means most countries are experimenting with composites. Now, really, the first mass issued composite design happened in the 70s, actually. So you see, in 1976, Israel comes out with this, and basically overnight they try to get rid of as many of their fucking steel helmets as possible because this is a damn sight better. They come out with this, and this is actually, from what I did any reading on, Mike, is actually supposedly based off the M1. I see very little resemblance to it, though.
It's literally like an M1 and an M35 had a baby and were made out of fiberglass.
So, but yeah, and they're made out of fiberglass, which is going to offer a great deformation pattern. Not really for rounds, but for shrapnel and blunt force trauma. This is going to be much better than a steel helmet, and it's still you still see kind of the last hurrah. You see the Riddell style liner that you find in the M1s, the later versions of the M1s.
That's not a Riddell liner. The Riddell liner is the World War II one with the loop on the top.
Oh, what? Well,
it's an M1 style liner.
Yeah, the M1 style late type liner, and then it moves to a 3-point chin strap for more stability. But these come out in 1976, and the Israelis love them. They're great. Now this is an original fiberglass one. It's in really good condition. You're going to be hard pressed to find one in this nice of condition.
Oh, really?
Mike's got one though too. Yeah.
Yeah. No, this was a fucking crapshoot. I literally got lucky on this. Some dude had this in a Mark 6.
Yeah.
Which that Mark 6 that he had ended up getting me my Mark 7. You know, so it was like a deal where this guy just came out of this with no, out of nowhere, and he's like, "Oh, I've got an Orlight helmet." I'm like, "Oh shit, I really want that."
But most of them that you've seen have been absolutely beat to piss, though, or modified. Right. Is yours modified? It doesn't have the riot shield thing.
No, mine's not modified, but most of them that you're gonna, the riot shield ones, it's not like they're worthless. It's just that it's harder to find one that's not been drilled for the riot shields.
Yeah. So and a lot of that is like a lot of them started in army service where they wouldn't have had the riot shields, but when they came out with the next version, a lot of the older versions were pushed into like reserve and police service, and a lot of the riot holes were drilled aftermarket. So, but this is really the genesis for Kevlar, composite helmets.
Yep.
Is 1976 the Israelis come out with this, and then the next super design that comes out is one that you still see vastly issued today, and it's easily my favorite helmet, and that would be the PASGT. So basically, the K-pot, the Fritz, whatever you want to call it, the Triphecta helm, all that other good stuff. Million different names. Every country calls it something different. They've all made versions of them and used them basically at some point, except for Russia. But this is basically
they're getting close though. The Russian, the 6B series, that's starting to look more like a PASGT every new model they come out with.
Pretty much, yeah. So, but this is the next super big upgrade, and this was starting to be tested in like 1981, 82, and in 83 it finally starts to get issued. And this is basically the gold standard for helmets up until the modern day. We still haven't strayed away from this design. This is the the United Nations standard helmet. They're still in huge amounts of use. They were made by layering 2-inch Kevlar squares in about 13 layers with resin and then shaped into the shell. It was a very complicated process to make, which is why you see back in the 80s these were very expensive and meant to be kept as a secret. And if you lost yours in training or something like that, you had to pay out the wazoo to replace them, because these were so far ahead of their time as far as helmet designs goes. And you really don't start to see other helmets issue actual Kevlar until the late 80s. So 5-6 years later, you start to see other countries adopt this design and similar designs made out of similar materials in similar ways. The first helmet that actually is designed to be ballistically resistant. This is the first helmet to achieve a 3A rating, which means it's meant to stop a 9mm FMJ bullet at point blank range, but it's actually not. What?
Which it does.
Yeah, but it's not actually designed to do that. That's just supposed to be a good representation for shrapnel. Like, I tell people that it's not actually designed to stop a bullet. It's meant for shrapnel still. All right? So take that as you will, but they're technically tested to be effective against 9mm FMJ at point blank range. So this is used by the United States well up through the mid 2000s. And the Air Force used it even longer. I think until 2017, the Air Force still had these in reserve stock. Yeah. So, but now officially they're all gone in the United States now. We've shipped them off to everywhere else and their grandmother. Anyone who wants them, we're giving them away basically. But this is really gold standard. It's my favorite helmet by far. Still that M1 style liner that you saw in the Orlight. Nothing really changed. 2-point chin strap with a chin cup now. Major upgrade. So, adjustable at both ends, held in place with a single snap. Then the British kind of blazed their own trail, because they blaze their own trail for whatever reason. Came out with their own string of helmets that only just recently phased away, and it's awesome. One of my favorite helmets, Mike, you probably really like them too. That would be the Mark 6. Mark 6 coming out of an entirely new material, being made out of ballistic nylon, which means it's a very lightweight helmet, but it's not really ballistically as sound as the PASGT, despite coming out pretty much at the same time. So this is going to be a lighter weight helmet. It's not going to offer as much coverage as the PASGT, and it's not going to offer as much protection. These are technically a 2A rating, or right around there. It's kind of hard to place them. But the cool thing about the ballistic nylon helmets is they have an indefinite shelf life. which means as long as you're not excessively hard on the helmet or exposing the fibers to too much trauma or radiation or UV exposure or anything like that, this helmet can be used for forever and it will maintain the same ballistic effectiveness
Or lack
throughout
thereof.
its, yeah, or lack thereof, as
Right.
the British found, throughout their entire existence for as long as you wanted to use them. And these were used in England as long as the PASGT was used in American service, basically up until 2017 is when they finally got rid of the last original Mark 6s out of service with like reserve units and cadets and stuff like that.
Well, right, because they were making them as late as 2013. That's what I've been seeing in the ones that I sell.
Yeah, these had a very long run as far as composite helmets go. They were meant to be take a riot shield. They could have a extra kind of nape protector and everything like that. That would be adjustable to you as far depending on your situation. These tended to have problems though with going prone. The PASGT also had that problem. The Orlight had that problem. This is kind of a new concept here. A lot of these early designs tended to rock forward because body armor still maintained a collar at this point that was permanently affixed to the body armor. So
you want to address the liner retention system, the nipples.
Oh yeah, so this is the only liner that's held in place by Velcro, and these two little dimples here. So this helmet has a separate liner that's technically a part of the shell. It's permanently affixed. It needs to go to an armorer to be replaced. The Orlight and the later versions of the Orlight, the earlier versions of the Orlight, the liner was riveted in. So those would have to be sent to an armorer to be replaced. But the PASGT is basically you undo 6 screws, and you could swap out the liner and the chin strap and everything else real easy. This you have to be sent to a field armorer to use because it's a foam shell, as you can see probably can't really see, but right here, this kind of black, almost hardened styrofoam shell is held in place with Velcro strips, kind of like an ACH, that are stuck to the inside of the shell here. And then these two rubber prongs are forced through that liner and then through holes put in the shell to hold the liner securely in place. It has kind of soft sheepskin leather pads, and it has a PASGT style liner, like the drawstring and everything here. If I can get the light, there it is. I'll move this out of the way. In place, that's adjustable. It only has 4 loops though, rather than the PASGT 6, which means
it's uncomfortable as fuck.
Yeah, it cut into your head, especially if you have no hair. It's not so bad if you have hair, but if you have no hair, this cut in incredibly bad, and soldiers really, really didn't like them. I think it's a relatively comfortable helmet. So, but that's basically where you see Kevlar helmets designed. Basically, everything after this seems to be based off of one of these 3 designs or improved versions of these 3 designs for a very, very long time. So we could get into what the next one will probably be the last one, right, Mike? As far as the helmet continuation list
What's
goes. the basically revamped models of the PASGT, the
ACH and the Mitch and the ECH, yeah.
So they're all just basically improved designs, and we get to
one thing I want to bring up, and do you have one? Serbian M89.
I do have all 3 versions of the Serbian M89.
Let's talk about those, because are those technically Kevlar? What are those made out of?
Those are technically Kevlar. They are only made with 11 layers of Kevlar though, whereas the PASGT is 13.
Yeah, because they're very thin.
They are very thin. They still they rate less than a 3A rating, but their design is basically they took the M59 shell, threw the same liner in it, the same chin strap, and there you go. Except the later one, like I could go grab it here real quick.
Yeah, go grab it really quick.
All right, yeah.
So yeah, when he was saying that there was like 3 main designs, the other one, of course, leave it to Yugoslavia or Serbia. You got to be unique, got to be your snowflake, just like your brand of communism. There was like that design that was kind of standalone and really didn't get reproduced. But if you're talking about the M76 Orlight, the Israeli one, the PASGT, and the British Mark 6, those are the main 3. But these M89s are really interesting.
Yes. So here's my original M89 shell. It's a little dusty. It has no liner in it right now. But the chin strap's in place. Single 2-point chin strap, just like normal. It's the same M59 shape. But if I get it up here close to the camera, you can see. Here, I'll get the PASGT up there right next to it. You can see that it is thinner. Okay? And then, don't mind my PASGT liner. I just replaced it with a lightweight helmet liner. It's a PASGT. But I have an incredibly rare M89 shell. This is made the last year before Yugoslavia like disbanded. I'm going to show you really interesting because I'm probably one of the few people that owns this in the
No holes in it, yeah.
It's the same thickness as the PASGT. They vamped them up, but none of these made it to service. This one doesn't even have the holes drilled in it for a liner. Nowhere. It's just a shell. But this would have been the last generation of helmet that the Yugoslavs would have issued, and it's just as effective as the PASGT. Still the same shape, would have had the same liner, but they realized it wasn't as effective. So, and after Yugoslavia fell, the Serbians and everybody else just adopted this in the form of the M97. So, which is an exact PASGT clone, except it has a 3-point chin strap rather than a 2-point chin strap. So
that leaves about 5 years where they're still using the steel helmets and the M89s.
Yeah, they used a smattering of everything. So that's why I like Yugoslavia so much.
Yeah, it's really pretty interesting. Like around that time, the late '80s, early '90s, when that whole thing was about to collapse. It's like they're still coming out with technology that's relevant to the time period.
Like you see a lot of Yugoslavia's body armor designs actually come out of Slovenia. So when Slovenia broke away, the MPC-1 helmet, which is a copy of the Orlite but in Kevlar, was made in Slovenia.
Wow.
And a lot of their body armor was made in Slovenia. So, and Slovenia broke away basically without a fight because they were way different and way on the fringes of the thing. Same thing with Macedonia. Don't fucking throw Macedonia shit in the comments now. I understand that it's still a contested thing and blah, 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 and the Greeks and everyone fucking hate each other. But Macedonia, all right, broke away pretty easily as well. So basically without a fight. It's basically once you get to where Croatia and Serbia and all of them start to get into contests for independence and everything is where you actually see the wars. So
yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people don't know about the Mark II M89. I'm the only owner of one that I've ever seen.
Thank you for your service.
But those are all the cool helmets I own. A lot of Kevlar helmets, and they're all basically made the same way. The Orlite though, the fiberglass ones are made with long strips, kind of like paper mache, and the Mark 6s are made with long strips, but they're kind of lattice woven. As you saw when you shot yours, they're kind of lattice woven together to give it some more strength, but not enough, obviously. Whereas the PASGT was kind of a weird design where they used kind of crisscrossed overlapping 2-inch squares. That seemed to be one of the most effective designs up until very recently, though, was using the little squares. So
yeah,
but that's the genesis of composite helmets. Pretty much everything comes from those 3 designs. So, and you'll see in next week's video where we show you all those kind of updated designs where you'll see a Polish one and German one and
I could show a Polish one right now, but we'll wait.
Yeah. So, and I got a German one, and I got a Russian one, and
I got a Dutch one.
Yeah, they're nice though, Mike.
Oh, the Schuberts, the Dutch ones? Yeah, hell yeah. All right, maybe we should go to the comments and start. Oh yeah, you want to show your BGS M4051?
Sure.
I used to have one of those fucking things, and I got rid of it when money got tight several years ago, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not collectible. Yeah.
So this is mine. Right here, it has the iron crosses put on the side. This is an aftermarket produced shell, though. It still has the World War II liner in it, though. So before they were still using leftover liners. So it doesn't have all the perforations in it on the tongues. It's just got the solid tongues. but it has the cork spacers between the shell, which you don't see on the German ones. It has back to the brass rivets, and these decals are very, very well kind of worn off. But this is it right here. Nothing super fancy. It's basically just an M40, but it's got Iron Cross decals on the sides for the border guards. So I got one of the nice ones with rivets too. You could find them without rivets, without the air vents in them. I mean, so
Yeah, the Model 45.
yep, and you can find them. Even the ones that are don't have the air vents, you can find them with the later updated liners, which would look just like in the like M62. The leather would look that same way, where it would be I'll have the forehead perforations, all the little ones, but then the tongues would also have the like 5 cutouts on them too. So you can find them either way with depending on what time that shell got retrofitted or where that shell originally came from. So because they recycled as many as they could, but mine happens to be a new made one. So that
I have one of the lighter weight new made ones.
Yeah. So
and I actually regret. I mean, obviously, I was an idiot and put SS decals on it.
Yeah, they're not as desirable, but they're still cool. So like, if you're looking for like an M40 to use as like a World War II impression, you can still actually find those. They turn up on eBay, and they're not as desirable as an actual helmet. So nobody really seems to care if you do put decals on it or so, because they don't really have any history associated with them, really. So.
Well, I think the history is if people see here's the problem is people don't understand and know the history and kind of what the Bundesgrenzschutz actually did in the 50s, the late 40s and 50s, because after Germany was pretty much divided, there wasn't a wall, there wasn't a fence, there was really no established border.
There was a line, and people with guns pointing at each other. That's what it was.
Right, but they were even unsure of like, where is the line? Like, is it a half a mile this or a half a click this way, or are we over the line, or are you over the line? And so then the BGS, and they were all volunteers, and a lot of them were World War II veterans, and it wasn't technically part of the army because the Bundeswehr didn't exist until later. But you still had this like armed force that was using like K98s and MG42s and other weapons that was sort of protecting against the Soviets and the East Germans.
Yep.
And it was a really, I think it's a really cool history and like a cool story.
It's a neat read if you guys get the chance to read it.
Oh god, it's an insane kind of
that tension is hard to recreate anywhere in the world. So
and you had World War II veterans, the Germans, on both sides, and
exactly. So not knowing whether they should, what the outcome was going to be, who was right, who was wrong, what side should they be on when this is all over?
Exactly.
What's going to happen? So it was just utter chaos, I'm sure.
It was kind of like a cold civil war for them at that point.
Yeah.
Because they were seeing each other,
they speak the same language. They're the same people. A lot of them were neighbors. Like across the street, the wall eventually went up down the streets, and you didn't see your neighbors again for 40 freaking years.
Yep.
So,
yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. That's why I want to kind of get one just for the
history. They got some new history, yeah. So and if you haven't seen my video on it, I explained to why they still use the Stahlhelm after the war was over. So
yeah, then they the 1957 like I think it was in 57 they had the anti-Nazi thing like completely. And
they wanted everything gone. Yeah, it was by New Year's of 58. Everything had to be gone.
So what they did is, for those of you that don't know, this is another little side tangent, is they took like everything that was related to the Third Reich, like the Stahlhelm was related to the Third Reich, and so in the BGS and then the later Bundeswehr, which is kind of coming to fruition around the same time, the late 50s, mid to late 50s. You had a ton of World War II combat veterans, like German ones, and these guys were in the SS, they were in the Luftwaffe, they were in the Wehrmacht or the Heer,
all walks of life, yeah. Kriegsmarine. Everything.
Yeah, so these guys had awards, okay, that they had earned, like an infantry assault badge or a wound badge or a general assault badge, you name it, close combat class,
Yep.
close combat clasp. Say that fucking 10 times fast.
Yeah.
And the original Third Reich Award would have the swastika on it, right? Not cool. In '57, the Bundeswehr came out with these awards, these retroactive awards, kind of classified as the Model 57. So you'd have like, a German major that would have been a World War II combat veteran, and he's got an Iron Cross first class. He's got a infantry assault badge and a wound badge third class. Those badges would have looked the same, but no swastikas on them. So the Iron Cross would have just had the oak leaf kind of thing in the middle, in place of the swastika. Same with the infantry assault badge, or some of them just actually removed the swastika period and the eagle, and it was just like the wreath and the rifle. And then for like the wound badge, it would just be like 2 cross bayonets with a helmet, or no, not even the helmet, 2 cross bayonets and all that shit without the swastika, and
Yep,
that's
because
it.
they couldn't have the Stahlhelm on the freaking
Right,
badge,
because it was a symbol of the Third
yeah.
Reich.
So,
Yep. So
right.
yeah,
So
it
they
was
went through
pretty
a
nuts.
huge process, and there was a point in there where some of these people weren't getting their replacement badges. So you'd have these like colonels who are super veterans and had all this stuff, and they looked like they were fresh out of basic training because they didn't have anything. So,
Oh yeah, the Iron Cross, decals. I actually don't know about that. Like,
no,
I've read,
those I don't think everything I read, I don't think those are original to that helmet.
yeah,
Either. I haven't
that's what
seen
I've read
any.
too, and it's like, it's not to shit on the piece, because thanks Elias, thanks Crate. It's not to shit on the piece itself. It's just that somebody
Yeah.
put that on there at some point, and again, like he
And
said, they're
that's
not
how I got it, and that's how I'm going to leave it. So
right, and unless they become super rare and valuable, which then you can just literally scrape them off like with your finger.
yeah.
Like, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of cool. I'm sure some like German biker or American biker is the one that put the Iron Cross on it.
Yeah. So, and to answer Crate's question, because he paid 5 Canadian, why didn't they put in these Stahlhelm liners into Kevlar helmets?
Well, the cost, it's a lot of leather.
Yeah. It's expensive, and they don't last as long as like nylon. Nylon is much more sweat
Yeah,
and acid
exactly.
resistant than everything than leather is. So
Yeah, leather's more comfortable, but the military doesn't give a shit about that. They give a shit about the bottom line.
Yep. Now
So,
imagine if you get that leather wet every day for 2 weeks, it disintegrates. It turns into mush. Whereas nylon will not do that. It does not absorb water
well,
or sweat.
not 2 weeks. Come on, let's be fair. Like, probably about like leather will last.
If you take care of it, yeah.
Yeah,
For
if
a
you
long
take care of
time.
it, it'll last a long time, but it's more expensive. Leather is swanky. What in the whole chicken fried fuck does swanky mean? I actually don't know.
It means it's like nice.
Really?
Yep, it's nice.
What would happen is, I'm sure, if a German soldier stole an award in war, is if they got it.
Probably reprimanded just like in the US.
Yeah, I mean, that shit's not new, but it's pretty easy to tell. Stolen valor is like, why do we wear jumpsuits? I don't know, Elias. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I appreciate the Buck 99, but like, what do you mean by jumpsuits?
I think he means like the air crews, the tankers.
Those are coveralls. They're not
Yeah.
technically jumpsuits.
Yeah.
Um,
There
I
was
don't
a
know, the Air
significant
Force.
amount of people that had them. The mechanics wore them too. It's an easy one-piece thing of clothing that was made to be fire-resistant and grease-resistant, easy to
And cover
clean.
everything that you're
Yeah.
wearing. Yeah.
So,
I don't know, the flight. You mean the flight suits and all that shit? The like the onesies, the coveralls, the Air Force wears, because they're convenient and yeah. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a dick. I just honestly don't like understand your question entirely.
yeah, there's a lot of instances. So
Probably means those NBC things in M81.
well, that's for chemical resistance.
Oh, the mop suits.
Yeah.
Oh god, those things suck so bad. Oh, covered in fucking black charcoal, and they don't breathe, and
Yeah.
you get sweaty, and they're heavy as fuck, and ugh.
All of that for no chemical weapons.
Well, it's like realistically, by the time you get the alert, you're just putting on
You're
your mask as
fucked.
a peace of mind
Yeah.
thing. Like, you're fucked.
Yeah, and besides, like, what was all the shit that it had? Nerve agent? That's just gonna absorb through your fucking skin whether you have a mask or not.
Right. That's the thing. Is it's just. Ugh.
So yeah, it was more of peace of mind and the best that they had, even though the best they had might as well have been just as good as not fucking bringing it. So
How much did the army pay us?
you
Well, he
can
was in the
see pay
Canadian
rates.
Army.
They you could literally Google it.
Well,
It
yeah, but
changed
I was
basically
in
year by
10
year.
years ago. Like, I got in 10
Yeah.
years or 11 years ago.
So,
Jesus.
but you can check it though every year, basically all the way through history to like World War One, what every soldier was paid in every army at every rank.
Right.
So no, and no soldier is ever paid enough to do whatever job they're doing ever. So.
Well, here's the thing. I was thinking about that, and when I was 18 years old and got deployed, I was making like 34,000 bucks a year, which doesn't sound like that much to a lot of zip codes. Here, that's like you can survive off of that. However, I had no clothing expenses, I had no food expenses, I had no shelter expenses. Okay, so if you factor that in, and it was tax free when I was over there, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, 34,000 doesn't sound like a lot, and it sounds like, oh, this guy's getting fist fucked, and he's a hero and all that shit, the worship and whatever. But really, it was more like I was making about 50 to 60,000. If you think about that, I didn't have to
Yeah,
pay
because
for
you're not
anything.
paying for anything. Yeah.
Right. So as an 18-year-old, that was a pretty good gig.
Yep. But
Of
then
course,
you
I
look
was
at
an
the
idiot
other.
pissing all away.
But then you look at all the football players who get to wear their helmets too,
Oh,
and they make millions of dollars a year.
Christ. Yeah. I mean, I get that, but again, nobody holds a gun to your fucking head. You join the military voluntarily. Like, I don't have any sympathy for people that are like, they're underpaid. Well, sure, yeah, I agree because the amount of work is insane. But nobody's making if I could do it. Like,
Yeah. So it's all voluntary. Most armies are voluntary at this point. And it depends on the Canadian infantry. There was a lot of signing bonuses. It depends on if you're deployed or not, or if you're going to be reserve infantry. There's a lot of different things that decide. It depends on a lot of countries will pay you extra money and stuff like that, Canada included, based on the extra languages you speak or the extra qualifications you
yep,
have.
yep.
And so it really, really, really factors in. So
Yeah, I know they're paying. I joined
Mike,
during the
before you tell them,
surge.
you should make them pay if they want to learn personal stuff. They got to pay.
People are paying without me asking. I'm just gonna kind of let it ride. So I appreciate all that shit. Um, but
Why do people call German World War II reenactors Nazis? Because they don't know any better. Unfortunately. Mike, don't get into it, Mike.
well, it's just like
Yeah. It's
I've
the
never
same
heard. I've
exact
never
fucking thing, but for a different branch. So.
right. I've never heard a Marine who's actually deployed and been in combat pull that shit. So it's like that's why I'm just like kind of making fun of it.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't fucking matter. It's probably some boot. Oh, Marines are better. Okay, cool. You guys have
We
different
declared
combat
war on
doctrine.
Mexico tomorrow. What camo should we use? Either 6-color or multicam.
Or
That's what 6-color
Tropitarn.
was designed for.
Or
Was
not
for
Tropitarn,
basically
but
if we went
we
to
should
war
use
with Mexico.
Wustenton.
Yeah. That'd be fucking perfect. Yeah, you're right, Mike.
Mm-hmm. The reason I know that is because when we were at Fort Bliss at Primo, I saw a bunch of Germans wearing Wustenton, and I was like, God damn, that works well. Like really well.
But have you seen the sparse Wustentarn?
The new stuff?
No, so like the regular stuff has like that green and that like dark brown in it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at the sparse, what it was called sparse, and it was
Yeah,
only issued to special
it's
forces.
lighter. It's got more of like
But it's that tan, and then it has very few really dark spots and that light pink in it. I have a giant bolt of that cloth. So
nice.
I do, yeah. It's great.
Yeah, I'll try to get the chocolate chips again. It was kind of a lately I've been steering away from my like normal suppliers, we'll say, and I've been trying out little ones around the
Yeah.
world.
Branch out,
Oh
diversify a little
God,
bit.
it's been fun. It's really exciting, but sometimes it's like, oh, I get shit. I get like a defective product or garbage or something that was misrepresented, and I'm out that money. Or I get things like the chocolate chips, like Jesus. These I thought they were going to be like the repros, which are none of them get the color or the material right. And I got it, and it was dated like 1983. I was like, Jesus Christ, these are real. And so that's why I offered it up. And yeah, it's probably something I'll do at the end of the summer or midsummer to the end of the summer. But yeah,
Yes. Best surplus military rifle you could buy.
again, that's a very vague question. What's the best car?
Yeah.
Like what
Are we talking
situation?
like ones that you could still availably get?
What situation? What are you going to be
Yeah.
using it for? How long are you going to be carrying it? Where's the ammo? Where are you at? There. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying when you're
Yeah.
asking questions like that, you got to be more specific. You have to be way more
Exactly.
specific.
If you know as far as something is, if I had to throw one out there that you could still find, you're gonna have to pay for them, but you could still shoot reasonably economically well, and they shoot really well, and you're gonna enjoy the shit out of it. Is get a K31.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert. The random weird Austrian German shit, they both stopped selling surplus a couple years ago. So it's
Yeah.
getting really hard for me to get this European stuff. Obviously I love it too and I'm trying, but man, the surplus market's changing and I'm trying to stay afloat.
Exactly. So yeah, you're going to be hard pressed. Like basically, the only way you could find German, like modern kind of modern-ish German and Austrian surplus is going to be like secondhand market. So like forums and eBay, and it's people
Well, I mean, I
selling
still
ones
get
and
it, but
twos.
it's
Yeah,
not the super weird shit. Get more Grenztruppen stuff. That's literally all I can get. Grenztruppen has not been surplus for like about 15 years now. So it's amazing I can get those hats.
yeah.
Um, but and then Sturmtrupp 8mm. My favorite version of the Stahlhelm. Uh, yeah, it's between the M18 and the M35.
I was gonna say I'd have to say M18, M35.
Yeah.
So I'd lean more towards the M18 because I'm more of a World War One guy. But
Well, yeah, but the lugs are unnecessarily big, and it's added weight, but the shell's good. The shape
mhm,
is. It wasn't the right kind of steel, but yeah, kind of a weird question to ask. Not
yeah,
or not ask, but answer.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
neat though, stuff like that. He was specific,
Oh, for
at
sure.
least.
Why did the U.S. stop using jungle boots? They didn't. Our
You could
modern
still buy
combat
them
boots,
today. They just changed.
dude.
Yeah.
Our modern combat boots, like from 2000, when they went to the ACUs, right, were literally jungle boots made out of nylon instead of canvas.
Yep, and they switched to tan rather than black.
Right. Yeah. That big
I
fucking detail I left out. But yeah, I was thinking of getting myself a PAL. What the fuck's a PAL?
think he means FAL.
An FAL is a great first rifle.
Yeah,
Yes.
FAL is a fucking
The best
fantastic
World War I, World
rifle.
War II bayonet design. Again, what purpose? Where are you at? What are you doing with it?
Well, they were all kind of grossly long and basically swords and quite unwieldy to use as an actual knife or anything like that. So basically, the bayonet that I want is one that's going to be handy enough to be used as an actual knife because your chances are you're not really going to be using it as a bayonet hardly ever. So you want one that can be used as an actual tool that it was designed for as a fucking knife. and all the World War I bayonets are basically fucking swords, which makes them suck as a knife.
Except the Steyr M95 bayonet was actually tiny. That's where a lot of these countries got the idea to shorten theirs because it really wasn't necessary.
And the Ross rifle bayonet wasn't too bad either. That
well,
had
the
a
Ross
7-inch
rifle didn't
blade.
see a lot of fucking service, so that's the thing.
Yeah. But you could still find the bayonets.
Great target rifle, not a good service rifle.
Exactly what it was designed for.
Just kind of like the AR-15.
Yep. So.
Best helmet for throwing like a frisbee. Well, I don't think it takes a head cashier at Walmart to figure that one out.
The fucking frisbee. The fucking tin hat, the doughboy.
Riley's got it. Riley's got it. So, like, I mean,
yeah,
that was cute. Thanks, Crate. The FAL is illegal here. PALs are. Oh, that's so dumb. I feel so bad for you guys.
Yeah. Canadian gun laws do suck. They're really complicated.
Elias, didn't you ask this last week? Why did we change the plate carriers? Somebody asked that same question.
Yeah. I'm wearing actually the first generation of plate carrier issued to infantry right here, and it came out in the end of Vietnam. So it's basically because they decided that they needed more protection than fragmentation. That's it. So, and they could only get so far with the technology they had as far as fibers went then. So they had to start issuing hard plates.
Yeah, it's weird though, because like, so that came out the end of, so like the early 70s, right? And
this one I have is dated 1970.
Yeah, so early 70s, and you think about this because, all right, Panama, Grenada, all the weird little, like, kind of instances that happened in the 80s, we weren't really wearing body armor per se. Oh yeah, I'll let you show them the pads.
Yeah, so these are the plates, and they're not actually ceramic or anything. They're made out of aluminum oxide, and they're coated in nylon. And you could wear them standalone too.
Shit, sorry.
You could actually wear them without a carrier. They have straps fucking put on them to wear just the plates if it's like really hot. But if you needed to, you could have the ballistic nylon carrier underneath.
Dude, if you wore that shit with the straps, you look like Deputy Travis Jr. on fucking Reno 911, wearing your shit on the outside, like.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a freaking neat design though, and I'm like, I see why the U.S. ended up bringing it back when they came out with the plate carrier, and this is, a lot of people think that the OTV was the first plate carrier, but this is actually it. So.
No, and that's what I was going to ask you. Is like, so you got from so that's 1970, okay. Yep. You got all these things through the 80s, Beirut and all that shit, and they were wearing like literally flak jackets, right?
Yeah.
And you get up to the first Gulf War, they're wearing the PASGT vest, right? Mm-hmm. Still just mostly ballistic, like padding, no real hard armor plates.
Yep.
And then you start seeing the armored plates in Somalia in 93.
Yep.
So what happened in that 23 years that made them like not realize they needed ballistic plates?
Well, a lot of it came down to basically Desert Storm was kind of the first part where they decided, well, hey, maybe we need some more extra protection. So they actually made a stopgap. They only made like 20,000 of them though for testing. And what it was designed to integrate with the PASGT. So you would wear it. It was a plate carrier is all it was. It had a single like elastic strap that went around. It was held in place with Velcro, and it held a rectangular plate. And you would wear it over your PASGT vest.
Right, but then the Rangers in Somalia were wearing some shit. It was like a steel plate, but it was
called
in the
vest.
Ranger
body armor. Yeah, the RBA. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was another kind of stopgap measure until they could initially. That was kind of an off-the-shelf procurement design, which is why you didn't see a mass issued. So. But yeah, Desert Storm was kind of where they decided that they needed to upgrade, get more protection, which is where you see a lot of armies, because there was a lot of armies involved in Desert Storm, and a lot of armies came to the conclusion that they need to protect their soldiers a little better. The battlefield has changed, so they're not really fighting a uniformed force anymore, so the enemy can get a lot closer now. There isn't so much artillery fire going on. You need more small arms protection more than shrapnel protection.
Right.
So
Yeah, it's insane that it took that long. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, it was weird because, you know, Iraq obviously is like a lot of the IEDs and everything. And so when we were getting ready to deploy, we were one of the first groups that got the IOTV, right?
Yep, the poncho
And
style plate carrier.
yeah, but it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, I can't move. The range of motion for me, it
It's
was like walking
terrible.
around like
Yeah.
SpongeBob. I was like, okay, I can't fucking, you know, drop my arms down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so when do we get to the point where it's too cumbersome and the protection it offers does not outweigh the actual like mobility and the
Yeah.
speed? Because my vest was heavy as fuck.
It was basically just after you left in 2010, they came out with just like plate carriers. So it didn't have any
Right.
Kevlar. It held just the plates and then the side plates because they realized they didn't need the fucking Kevlar, basically.
Right. And it's
So,
like, Jesus, my vest was so goddamn heavy. I'm like, this is
yeah.
limiting me in a lot of ways. Like I
Exactly.
literally,
And I was just
yeah.
telling Mike before this, like, this design came out before the OTV and the IOTV, like 30 years before it. And my range of motion is actually really, really good in this. So I could basically cross my arms in front of me. I could reach behind me very easily still. And they had this available. Like the government made these. Like why'd they have to reinvent the wheel?
Ever found any insane deals at estate yard sales or flea markets and surplus stuff? Yeah, but not for a long
Yes.
time.
So
Uh,
I found some pretty good deals there.
I
So
found a freaking U.S. Navy marked reversible rubberized poncho from World War II for $3 at a yard sale when I was like 10 years old. So that's probably, you know, almost 20 years ago. But
that's where I bought my 1917 A1. It was a basically brand new, unfucking used Navy 1917 A1. Which is why mine has that really faded 270 on the front. I don't know
nice.
what the ID was for that yet, but I'm guessing it was to like,
Probably VFW.
yeah, or well, I heard that the Navy did it for the ship's inventory,
Oh, the
so the
ship. Yeah,
ship's
yeah,
number,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So
But I mean, a lot of the numbers, like I have a 1917 that's the liner was kind of fucked on. I actually wanted to restore it, but you know, part of me is like, I don't really want to paint over the VFW shit because that's its own history. But I'm probably gonna end up restoring this bitch and
yeah,
making it like whatever. But
yeah,
yeah, it's pretty cool. The VFW used a lot of those for a lot of years. So,
mm-hmm.
but I do need a 1917 A1. I really do.
They're cool.
Yeah, I know they're cool, and I want to get. I mean, I'm patient. The time will come. I'll find it. It'll be like,
They
okay,
turn up, yeah. So
yep. And I want to get one in good shape, but not like brand new. And yeah, it'll be
yeah,
fun.
I want to get the 19. I want to get one of the 1917 A2s because I owned one a couple years ago and I sold it because nobody ever saw one. The Merchant Navy version,
Yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
which has like the M1 style liner and just a fuck
Yep.
ton of brackets around the inside that they just routed everything through. So
Why in World War II did some infantry wear HPT coveralls? What's your obsession with coveralls, dude?
yeah,
Like,
so you did all coverall designs are so you don't get shit on you. That's what they're there for.
right? Like,
So,
they wore HPT coveralls a lot in the South Pacific, I guess, because you didn't get sand and bugs and shit. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So, Mike gonna sell the lava? Yeah, the lava lamps, plural. Joke's on you. Figure it out. 25
wow.
residential. Figure it out.
Yeah,
Have you seen that video?
I have.
Yeah, it's
Oh
beautiful.
fuck,
Thank you.
it's great. So
25 residential.
residential, figure
Like
it
the most
out.
fucking crisp, clear American accent in the world. Oh, great. You're on a roll tonight again. If I were to get a gun, I was thinking of the X95.
I'd get a C7 because they're probably going to go away eventually. So.
Yeah, C7's cool. X95s, they're still being made. And yeah.
And if you can, get a Dynamco C7. Don't get a Colt Canada one. Get a Dynamco one if you could find it.
I eventually want a C7 as well, like,
Yeah.
or
I
some
will tell
clone.
you what, I think the Dynamco C7 is the epitome of what an AR can actually become. So, as far as without putting all the extra shit or anything on it, it's
Yeah.
so they use the nicest fucking steel and the nicest fucking parts money could buy when they build
Tacos and
that
French
rifle.
fries is asking me a question on my most popular recent video. What do you think are the good Milsurp buys in 2019, if any? Oh,
Basically anything you could fucking afford.
what happened to my store live chats? You have questions? What are your questions? I'll try to answer them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go take a piss first, though.
Go for it. I'll answer some questions. Yeah, Dynamico was just bought out, but the reason I'm telling you to get a Dynamico one is because that marking is going to make it more valuable. Ruger 1022, it's probably one of the best 22s ever made. I don't own one, but I know basically everyone who does fucking own one. I have a 22 made by Sears and Roebuck in 1957. So the Army did enforce regulations on weed in Vietnam, but it's actually really hard to do if you're out in the field. So my Fallschirmjäger helmet's actually not currently at this residence, unfortunately. So I'm wearing the this would have been worn through like Korea. These came out in 1952, and if you could find one, I highly recommend them because they're super cool. This is the Louisville Spring Up cap. It has the tag. I have the original tag in there. I doubt you can see it, but I'll get real close. The Louisville Spring Up cap, and they were allowed to be. So when they came out with the 1951 pattern soft cap, a lot of like NCOs and officers really didn't like the look. They wanted something kind of more tight and official looking and everything like that. This is like what the patrol cap is based off of, actually. A lot of people call it the Fidel Castro, but it's rigid. It has like steel rings and stuff in it. And it's made out of the same nylon, cotton, sateen fabric. But you were meant to be able to like crumple it up and everything like that, and it would just spring back to its original shape, which would be that really kind of nice, stiff officer looking type helmet. Not helmet, hat, which is what a lot of people liked. And these were worn, actually, were accepted to be issued and worn up until 1963 when they came out with the jungle cap. So, yes, this is the Soviet shirt. I love these shirts. I have a shit ton of them. So, it's one of my favorite things for like people who actually like have my address and everything to send to me. I really like a lot of Russian stuff. So I have a lot of striped shirts because I actually like horizontal stripes. I wear them basically every day. So
Oh shit!
what?
I'm back.
Welcome. I like the C7A1 better. Great. It's just I don't need all that flashy shit on my rifle. So what post World War II nation's military interests me the most? Probably Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
So these hats normally run. You could find them usually in unused condition in kind of smaller sizes or very, very large sizes for $30 or $40. Finding one in a common size is going to run you a bit more, and they'll probably be quite beat up. But if you do actually get one that's kind of beat up, I'm going to show. I'll probably do a video at some point of how to kind of restore some of this fabric and how to specifically wash a hat, because it doesn't just work for historic hats. You could also use it on your modern hats as well. Relatively easy. So
I bought a shitload of these 20 rounders.
that's what you were saying. You bought a ton of them.
Good decision.
So also, while you were gone, we had somebody ask about the patches you have on your shoulders on your shirt. So
Store live chat. The patch on my jungle fatigue sleeve. Oh, abstract chicken. Which one?
just do both of them.
Okay. Well, if you watch my Vietnam videos, you know that's the 9th Infantry Division, right on the left shoulder. So that's the current unit you're in. You know, and the combat patch or the unit you were in on a previous deployment. This is the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. Both really good units. I like the 9th the best for the historical kind of research. It's a really unique unit. They work with the Navy a lot. So
yeah, the Canadians with the 5-round M16 mags. Those are a fucking joke. So
yeah, Crate's
yeah.
always on fire. He's just spacing his donations out tonight.
Yeah, Crate is like our #1 supporter. He's like
Yeah,
our biggest fan. So
yeah. And then when the weather improves and I move to my new location and am able to do some ballistic tests, that money will finally pay off.
how old do you have to be to join what military? The U.S. military? Because it's 17 with parent consent or 18 by yourself.
Damn.
So
Yeah, 5 round magazines is like sucking tits through a sweater.
yeah, they're there because the government's afraid of anything more than 5 rounds.
Well, I don't know. I could do a video that would further get every magazine banned of like, I'm gonna do a mag change on a 5 round magazine. I'm just gonna get like 100 of them.
Yeah,
And I guarantee you I can still do some fucking damage. I can do
yeah.
damage with a flintlock fucking musket, dude. You're good enough, you do 3 rounds a minute on there. That's 3 lives.
the best protection for a ballistic helmet on the surplus market right now. Get a PASGT. You can get them for cheap in the readily
PASGT
available
or
basic library.
WZ2000. I
Yeah.
don't have those right now, but I will be getting them in a couple months.
17H of marble. I've shot a Kevlar panel with them before. Like even a soft Kevlar panel, a 17H of marble will go through it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
So,
waste fucking time getting a gun and a bunch of ammo and 17 HMR. Jesus, Crate, you are on fire.
yeah.
I think Crate drinks a lot. He must.
I think Crate's like 14, and he just really loves us for some reason.
And then when his parents discover that their credit card's being used every fucking Friday. Oh, thrift shops and spirit shops, shooty shooty bang bang, huh? Care to elaborate there, bud?
Yeah, Canada's not that. I build Canada as a great place to visit, not to live, unfortunately. So at least if you're super liberal and everything though, Canada's gonna be your fucking like Emerald City, your freaking Elysium, your Cloud 9. But if you're conservative or somebody who's kind of on the fence, Canada's not your destination for where you want to live.
All right, minimums. I just told you. The left shoulder on U.S. uniforms, still current to this day, is the unit you're currently in. The right shoulder is a what's called a combat patch. So it's from a unit that you were deployed with or in combat with previously. So for this one, if I'm wearing a 9th Infantry Division patch as the current unit I'm in, that means that, so say I'm in this unit in 1968, that means in 1966 or 67 or whatever, I was with the 11th Armored Cavalry for a tour and I'm allowed to wear this patch like throughout my entire career because I was with that unit in a combat setting. This is your current unit. Um, that's
Yeah.
really all I can explain it as.
And if you need to get a more in-depth thing on it, there's tons of paperwork, and you could look up the regulations, like I said, for all the uniform regulations going back to World War I for the United States and most other countries on a government database somewhere.
They've been deployed to a combat zone.
So I saw one guy cool. I had to ask him a story about it because uh, he was an army guy, so he's wearing ACUs, and he had his normal patch on the side or whatever. But on the other side, he had a Marine Corps patch in the
Yep. Nope.
ACU type stuff. And he's like, because he served with the Marine unit. I'm like, that's fucking cool. I didn't
Yeah.
even know they made Marine patches in ACU just for that.
Yeah, they did. And here's the thing is you can either be a soldier who served with a Marine unit or a Marine whose prior service and joined the Army
Mm-hmm.
can wear their division's patch that they deploy with if they so choose. Now,
Yep.
my junior drill sergeant in basic, when we first got there and he was an E5, he came out the first day and he had the Fort Benning patch on his left shoulder and he had a 1st Marine Division combat patch on his right. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And he was actually a Marine who was in the invasion in 2003 with 1st Mardiv and got out and then joined the Army and then went back in 2005 with 10th Mountain and then, came back to Fort Benning and was working. And then they kind of threw him into drill sergeant school. But yeah, it was like, oh, I see that patch and I'm just like, fuck, there's not a lot of Army people that wear those patches. But I think I met 4 soldiers who were either with the Marines or prior service Marines.
Wow, great. That's pretty funny, actually. We were both way off at this age. He's a fetus in mid gestation.
I wasn't judging at all. The abstract chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and dick punch you
I was
through the
gonna
fucking
say, oh,
through the live stream. You've been dick punched really hard.
ooh,
But you should probably fall down and like literally cry. Just a few tears, get them out, release the pressure, and yeah, that'll be good.
Yep. Have a good cry.
So what's it like? Do they just give it to me or just easier work / base? I don't understand.
He's talking
You
about
know,
he wants to get his GED and stuff before he goes into.
you gotta get your GED before you join the military. You have to have
Yeah.
either GED or high school diploma.
Mm-hmm.
So have a many home built firearms. Yeah, that FAL. I bought the receiver. It's not like an illegal weapon. I bought the receiver. I bought the parts kit. I bought the tools to make like put it together, and I built the Imbel FAL.
Yeah. Or are you talking about like a fucking potato gun you rig up with PVC pipes and
Jesus.
shit?
Yeah, zip gun. I'm gonna use a 20mm shell casing and a fucking nail and some black powder with some rocks, and I'm gonna try to get a shot off to get a real gun. No, we're not there yet. We're not Africa, so
No. The U.S. hasn't tried to come and confiscate everyone's guns yet.
right. Them goddamn liberals and that Obama, they're gonna be coming to take my guns. Said literally every fucking weirdo ever, and it
And
never
then
happened.
they never came to do it.
Right.
And then
I mean,
Obama,
they
did you see
passed a lot
that
of
speech
regulation.
that they didn't want to circulate? The Democrats of Obama giving the speech, he's like, "We're never going to try to take your guns away."
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah.
Obama, well, that's because the liberals tried to sweep it under the rug because they own all the fucking media, obviously. But
Well,
they were
duh,
like,
yeah.
Obama was like literally at the White House giving a speech, and he's like, "I want to address something." He's like, because one reporter asked him, like, "Well, you're going to try to confiscate?" He's like, "We're never going to try to take away your guns. You have a right to own
Well,
arms according to the Second
dude,
Amendment." And he was a
right.
true politician about it. And I'm like, that's fucking great.
Well, he's not that. You know, he's not that dumb. He's like, it's fucking
Yeah.
impossible. So even if they do try to go confiscate all the guns, A,
Yeah.
who are they going to get to enforce it? And B, you're never going to get all of them. There's so many in this country.
Exactly.
So it's like, I mean, he's not that dumb. He fucking
Yeah.
understood that, like,
The
yeah, it's
single largest armed force in the world is the American populace.
well. Why don't I put it to you this way? Every year that the deer hunting rifle season comes around in Wisconsin, we mobilize what is now the 5th largest army in the world, the 5th largest armed force
Mm-hmm.
every November.
Yep. And
Our
then you look
state.
at, then if you combine that with every state.
That's what I mean. Like, our state is the 5th largest military in the world. There's 49 other states with guns.
Exactly.
Lots of
Who
guns.
all have deer hunting at the same time.
Right. And there's only a few states that don't really have, well, here's the thing is even the states with restrictions, they've still got a shitload of guns there.
Yeah. Even California.
Yeah.
The heaviest gun
They've
state
got
ever.
so many guns that, oh God, yeah, it's fucking insane.
They have more guns than any other state, actually, because they just have fucking 50-something million people.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why when everybody's like, they're gonna come confiscate our guns, I'm like, let them try. I'm like, do you know your local law enforcement officers? You probably should.
Yeah, and
they're not gonna
if the
fucking
cops
do that.
ever did actually try to do that, there would be an unthinkable amount of loss of life on law enforcement's part day one.
Right. It's like most law enforcement officers that I know are gun owners themselves, and
Yeah,
when they swore an oath to the Constitution, not the president or the congressman or senator, they were like, I swore an oath to the Constitution, and
yeah, the police are meant to uphold the Constitution, not
right.
necessarily what the president tells them to.
Right, that's the military's oath too. It's not to
it's
what they
to
say.
The people.
It's to the Constitution.
Yeah, which is the people. That's the thing that represents the people. Yeah.
Well, what's weird is it's kind of contradictory. It says also like, "Be the orders given to me by the President of the United States." So it's like the first part of the oath is about the Constitution, and then it says the President of the United States. And then because I was National Guard, it was like we had to do an oath to the governor.
Yeah.
It was like, so I had to do 3 fucking oaths. The Constitution, the President, and the governor. So it's like, Which one do I choose to enforce? Oh, the Constitution, because I like that
It's
one.
too bad you weren't in Minnesota where you could swear an oath to Jesse Ventura.
Oh man, that would have been great, but that was before my time. Like
Yeah,
he was out of office when I was like I just got into high school, so
exactly. Oh fuck, he would have just been. He would have been a riot. He probably would have like been there every time the National Guard did something.
a storm trumpet. I'll get to it. Jesus, I fucking showed it last week. Great, Jesus, man, you're gonna go broke, or your parents are gonna go broke.
Yeah, puts in a fresh 5-rounder.
Obama's not the Antichrist. He was just a puppet. Like
Yeah, Obama's a fucking politician, just like
I'm not
every
a
other
fucking right
politician.
wing gun nut like Republican. Like oh fuck, I'm pretty like moderate. So that kind of shit doesn't fly with me. Like, did I vote for him? No. Do I think he's the Antichrist? No, that's really extreme to say that. Like that's just
No.
dumb. It's just, oh man. Oh, here we go. I had to write a 4.5 paper, I assume page paper, essay about anti-gun control. Anti-gun control, so pro-gun in English class, pissed off the SJWs. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah. Soldiers in Vietnam. Bongo, bongo, bongo. I don't want to leave the Congo. Uh, give me liberty or give me death. Actually, a fucking fallacy made up by the Continental Congress and the
Yeah.
military leadership during not Vietnam, the Revolution. Very effective, but still not true.
It's a good
Vietnam,
rallying cry. Not really.
yep.
Yeah.
Vietnam isn't even in Africa. You are correct. Obama, Ubama. I like that. Obama is the Antichrist. Okay. Yeah,
Which
I can
surprises
roll
me.
with that. Matthew Chifukchev. What did I just join in on? Lamau. Yeah, Matt, come on, really? You're gonna play that fucking I'm new to this card? No,
Yeah.
no, not gonna happen. Angus, Obama was all right, I guess. He wasn't bad or good. I think he did a lot of harm,
Yeah.
but there was shit that he did that I agreed with. I can't think of it exactly right
Exactly.
now because I'm tired.
That's the thing. Me and you, Mike, we're so center as
Yeah,
far
it's
as
like
everything goes that we could
yeah,
see the good and the bad in every decision that they
right.
come out with.
That's the
Just
thing. Is like
saying.
I'm not. I think people who are extremists are the problem in this country, and that's what creates the divide.
Hmm.
I've talked to people that liked Obama. I've talked to people that didn't like him, but they were still rational in their conversations. And same with Donald Trump or any politician for that matter. If you could rationalize why you don't like them or you like them, but you're not like a total dick about it, and you're not like a
Hmm.
cunt, and like, oh, well, fucking Orange Man bad or Barack Obama's the Antichrist. Yeah, I'll sit there
Exactly.
and talk with you and be like, okay, I can see that.
Well, I'm
But
a firm believer in I'm not going to like or hate something until I fully understand it.
oh yeah, that's the thing is I never
So
fully understood Obama. I didn't like the Affordable Care Act. I knew from the beginning. I'm like, it's just
it's
not
not
going to
going to
work out
work.
well.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I didn't like him. It was just because like I don't like that policy. Even though he stood by it and did it, which I respect him for. I don't. I didn't agree with the policy, whatever. And it's that kind of thing. Like he did what he set out to do, which I respected. But yeah, it's insane. I just hate people who are so fucking polarized and so divided that they're unwilling to be able to communicate with anybody else who doesn't think exactly like them, because that's the problem with the United States right now is those people who I just explained about are getting the most attention, and that's not representing the entirety of our population. So provolone.
I like just right at the end of your rant there about politics, you just go provolone.
Well, the first thing I see
Yeah.
is Riley and fucking Sturmtrupp. What the fuck is hashtag provolone cheese? Like, I love provolone. Cheese is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm from Wisconsin. I love fucking cheese.
Cheese capital, yeah.
Well, this in Vermont. I'll give Vermont credit. They have some damn good cheese. But that's it. California's cheese, mass produced, bullshit, overrated.
Garbage, yep.
Fuck you. Yeah, tacos, I agree. And it's not because I'm like, MAGA fucking blinded Trump supporter. It's just like, dude, the majority of people who don't sit there and bitch and get attention are thinking the same thing. Like, it's so annoying,
Hmm.
the whole political thing. And I just wish that I wish we get back to like the people running the country, not just little select groups. But I don't know. Well, I don't have the answers to all that either. It's just it is what it is.
Exactly.
So
I'm just gonna keep voting libertarian, and we're never gonna win. And...
well, yeah, it's I don't know. Well, the people are always concerned about the presidential election. I'm like, well, who's your mayor? Who's your city council member? Who's your
Yeah, they're gonna
state
have more
senator?
effect on your life than the fucking president.
Who's your state assembly person? Oh, I don't know. I'm like, well, that's actually what matters, but you're worried about some fucking person that's gonna be 3,000 to 5,000 miles away from you in a fucking weird little city making decisions they think based on your beliefs. No, I'm like, it doesn't really matter what the feds do. I mean, some things do obviously, but like most of the shit the feds do will not affect the average Joe.
Yeah, and actually, most of the shit, like everyone likes to blame the president for stuff. Actually, 90% of the stuff you can blame for is actually based on like Congress and the House of Representatives.
And
yeah,
that's why I think that's why I didn't blame Obama for everything. It's like, sure, he might be the spokesperson and like trying to push
because
the
ultimately it's up to your congressmen and like senators
right.
and everything
And
to decide to pass anything.
Yeah, the cool thing about the American government is we have this weird thing called the balance of power, where
Mm-hmm.
no, the president's not a king. Donald Trump's not a king. He cannot just do shit, or else guess what? You're a totalitarian. Yeah, it's gonna correct.
Then the fucking Senate's gonna impeach you before you ever get there, and you're fucked.
Right. And that's the thing is Obama was not a king.
Hey.
He tried to be, whatever. No shit. You look so fucking sexy with that thing off your goddamn face.
I know, right?
Why is it not like zooming in on anybody else except me?
I don't know. None of us are talking.
So you can pick down at the bottom like who's gonna be shown by clicking on the picture.
What the fuck?
Let me load up the stream so I can actually see what the fuck's happening.
So Dakota can answer some questions. We're talking about politics, your forte.
I literally had to click that as it was working just fine.
I literally don't know anything about anything. Don't ask me shit. What?
No, so if I do that, it presents... Okay, one of you guys talk.
Okay. What do you want us to say?
Fuck. It's not going to you guys when you're talking.
Do you want us to just talk about basically whatever? On my screen, it's flipping just fine to Dakota and everything. Is it flipping? Like that, so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything like weird.
So,
although viewing the stream, I don't get to stream.
Oh, I didn't send you. Oh, I'll send you the link.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not flipping.
Yeah, I'm not getting like visuals from the.
Yeah, and you guys were talking, and it should fucking.
Whatever, it'll be fine. I'm just gonna watch the chat anyway. I'm not watching us.
The vest I'm wearing, I have a video on it on my channel. You can go through. It's in my military equipment playlist. So.
Oh shit. Oh shit! It is flipping. You're right.
Yeah, it's doing just fine.
Why the hell is it doing it like on the live screen that I'm?
Don't fucking listen to Ty Fuck Chev. He said it's not flipping. Don't listen to him.
Yeah.
Although I did miss his shenanigans.
Yeah. The shenanigans.
Yo, what the shit? Like, this is really fucking weird. Because now it's like stuck on you when you're not making any noise, Dakota.
Right. It's because I'm gorgeous.
Well, now you are. Last night, I literally wanted to just like euthanize you.
I wanted to throw spare change in your solo cup.
Do it. Give me your money.
Yeah, I hope you like loonies and toonies. Those are really good in Wisconsin, right?
Dakota's soprano name? Ooh.
Sounds like it's going to be brutal.
Mine's Bobby Bacala. You've seen The Sopranos, right?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Jesus, then you don't fucking get it, so don't comment. Why the fuck would you comment on something you don't goddamn know about?
Because I know what the fuck it is.
He's aware of its existence.
I am married. I do have kids. I did join the clergy, and I died in a farming accident. Those are all true. The couch was never completely Anschlussed. I fought them off. Why Obama take our sagas?
Right.
It's always just been Dakota.
What the shit?
Oh, I've been
Messing with
presented.
stuff, Mike.
No, I'm trying to figure this shit out. Like
A bunch of weird stuff's popping up on my screen, like you're fucking with shit.
Are you fucking this up?
Probably.
At least you own it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was working fine, and then your ass showed up.
That's all right. So
That's what I do.
people don't need to look at me anyways.
You know, Miley Cyrus shit come in like a wrecking ball. Cows do kill the environment. You should fucking eat all of them as a result.
Exactly. So the vegetarians are the ones you gotta watch out for. They're eating all the shit that helps stop global warming.
Right, and it's weird when I eat vegetarian food, I fart a lot.
Yeah.
And when I
It's
eat
pretty gassy.
when I eat cows,
it's all that
I
fiber
don't
and
fart.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't fart when I
Yeah.
eat cows, so I'm gonna
So-
keep eating cows.
It's you know, it's a good deal. While you're eating cows, you're getting rid of the farting cows, and you're not farting, contributing to the
That's
problem.
what I'm saying. Like I want to take AOC on a date and just tell her this. Like, here's why I'm gonna have a hamburger for every meal. Well, I would love to have a hamburger for every meal. It would be. I've actually done that. I did that one day. I had a breakfast burger where they put a fucking egg and some hash browns and
that's so
onions on
fucking
it.
good.
Dude, so that was my breakfast, and then lunch was like a fucking California burger where it's got a shitload of like tomatoes, onions, and mayo on it. And then for lunch, I had like a fucking double, triple barfy deluxe on a raft, 4x4 animal style. And it was, yeah, you got the reference. You got that reference.
Yes.
Basically, it was a fucking everything burger, right? Minus mushrooms. And man, I tell you what, I slept great that night. I felt wonderful. My health had never been better. I got really fat after that, but like, besides that, everything was amazing.
You feel just awesome, yeah, after you eat a cheeseburger.
Dude, burgers are fantastic.
Yeah, they're like the best food. They're the most like well-rounded piece of like just like
What
food
the fuck is
item.
Dakota, you know about memes more than I do. What's provolone like?
Oh, I have no fucking idea. I was trying to figure that out while I was like booting up.
They wanted me to say it. They've been typing it with hashtag. Why is so much profanity? Are all veterans like this?
I'm not a vet.
They're all like this.
People are like this. Like, have you talked to more people than your like
it's called
parents
freedom of speech.
without having to give your credit card number? Like, this is what people are like. They swear. Like Donald Trump swears because he's been around people his whole fucking life. I swear because I've been around people my whole fucking life. People are people, man. It's people swear.
Ugh. It's my goo 98. Do you guys forget my goo already? Somebody asked.
Your
Where's
goo?
the goo?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll see your goo, and I'm gonna actually manipulate, who the fucking screen is going towards. But yeah, I am presenting to everyone. Why am I not on the goddamn screen?
You are.
What?
On my screen, Dakota's on the screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
on my screen, it's all you, bud.
What the? You...
The 88's in my closet.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The skeleton Gewehr is also in my closet.
The skeleton Gewehr.
Yeah, it has like, it's all fucky. I'm pretty sure it was used by the Freikorps. That's why we call it that.
Fucking
Yeah,
piss out of it. Yeah.
it's fucking just, it's wild. Its story makes no sense.
Yeah.
There are markings in places it shouldn't have them. There are lacking markings where they should have them. It's all blued. Everything matches down to the cleaning rod. It's
We
a
talking
thing.
politics or what? You're
Just
gonna be very disappointed if I talk politics. You're gonna be very bored.
You'd be like, oh
Mike's
god,
got
you're
all
like
the rants that he possibly could.
you're like fucking Joe Rogan, Mr. fucking, you know, this and that. I don't want to start a fight.
That's how I am in politics. So
I like how Joe Rogan is Mr. Don't want to start a fight when he like punches people as part of his
Yeah, when he
job.
beats
well,
the shit.
dude, he's MMA. Like he does, it totally does this like a sport for fun. So I mean, why the fuck does it?
Yeah,
Why
because he can take it.
Yeah, I can't take a punch. I hate getting punched. Oh
I
my
don't
god,
wanna
I
get
hate
fucking
it,
punched.
dude. It sucks so bad. Like,
What's provolone style? I was meant to work the bolt in that fashion, but
have you ever done DMT? You should do DMT. You see things like that are totally different, and things get like kind of groovy, man. And you know, if you've never done it, that's fine. But like, yeah,
but you should.
Yeah.
You should try it.
you should try it. You should try smoking DMT and experiencing what I've experienced. You know, Mr. fucking Joe, I discovered weed at 35 and have not stopped fucking talking about it since then. Rogan.
I still like him though. Like I like watching
Oh,
some
yeah.
of his
Oh, yeah.
podcasts. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
He's
he's
a lot
good.
of his shit's pretty fucking entertaining.
Dude, his interview with Elon Musk, you can tell Elon's not really a social dude as far
Because
as that.
because he's an autist, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And but Joe kind of helped it along and got it going, and it was like that actually does take skill.
Can we see your state trooper hat?
It's not a fucking state trooper hat. Kill, dude. I'm about to cock punch you off my fucking channel. You call a state trooper hat again, I might fucking cock punch you off the channel.
Holy shit. That's so good though.
Yeah. That's been a thing for like every stream since the stream he decided to wear it.
Dude.
Fucking straight.
Fucking
trooper
yeah,
hat.
that's because Dakota knows exactly what that hat is about and wants one, but the guy that made it retired, so
Fuck
you
him.
can't.
He can't retire.
He
Make
fucking
me a
did.
hat.
Not when
Do
he's
that
making
years
shit that
ago.
nice.
I was dude, that hat is literally the fucking closest goddamn thing to an original 1911 campaign hat you're gonna find.
Oh,
And the guy retired years ago. I was selling them for a while, and all the people that got them were like, Jesus Christ. This is like a $500 hat and you're selling them for under $2. And I'm like, yep, I got a, you know.
Got a guy who's basically just doing it for shits and giggles. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a retired dude. And then he was like, yeah, I got to retire like completely. And I'm like, no.
Well, just fucking email. I'll email him. I want one.
Yeah, he's not going to fucking do it.
I know, Mike. Make me a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. My impression's fucked anyway because nothing fit. So.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, there's the coat. What do we got
That's all
there?
that matters, right?
Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna wear the coat and no pants. I'm gonna wrap the putties around just my bare legs.
Yeah, that'd be the way
Well,
to
they'd
go.
be fucking British.
Yeah.
The Brits and the Aussies did that, yeah.
I seem to be in a spot of bother.
I can't fucking.
What rifle am I looking at there?
On mine?
Yeah, Devin.
My
It's a Type
super
99.
mint condition M39.
Nice.
M39.
Doesn't even have a single ding in the wood. It's beautiful.
Thanks. I fucking hate you.
So, and I got it with the bayonet for $650.
Oh God, I don't think I like you.
I nearly jizzed in my pants when I found it.
Sambo doesn't exist. Sam isn't real. I don't have. What are we looking at? Danish M23.
I got one coming. I have an M2340 coming. It's getting
Not an M23. I don't give a flying fuck how much you want it to be and how much you think it is.
Yeah.
It's not an M23.
an M2340.
What are we fucking on about?
It's
What
the
the-
Danish, like super rare, like fucking.
Oh
manta
yeah,
ray helmet.
the bonnet looking helmet.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got that civil defense one that I bought off of Mike.
Yeah, that's about it.
I have an M2340 like infantry one coming, but it's not an original M23. It's not. But it's one of the ones that was an M23 and then fucking retrofitted to a 40, where they put the fucking extra rivet for the disc in and shit and ruined it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How is this fucking doing this? Like, I cannot figure this out because like Devin was
You
just
click on the
talking.
little picture on the bottom because you're the host, and then it can
No,
take a few
no,
seconds to pop
what
up.
I'm saying is, Devin, I just did that,
Yeah.
and before I clicked on, presenting to you because you were talking, Dakota comes up and he's just going, ooh.
Yeah, I have no idea.
'Cause I'm
it's flipping
listening.
between you two, but it's like
No,
never showing me anymore.
It wasn't
Yeah.
a dig towards you, Dakota. It was just like, you know how
Yeah.
usually it's voice activated, right? It'll go whoever like.
Right.
is
Yeah,
talking.
that's what it's
But
supposed to
since
do.
you joined, I'm
doing
not
that.
showing up anymore. Yeah. So.
Well, what I might do is, I might actually hit stop broadcast, and if I have to restart the stream completely, I will. But I should be able to hit stop and then start maybe, because this is just not fucking working right now. Like,
Yeah.
Stay tuned, kids.
yeah, stay tuned, guys. If it cuts out, that's why. But yeah, this is just, it should be like showing who's ever talking, and it's really getting fucking old. So here we go.